Okay guys, it's just past 7, so I'm going to begin the readathon, and I'm going to start with the short story in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde entitled The Body Snatcher. Hey guys, so I finished my short story, The Body Snatcher. I'm just about ready to take this little one here for a walk. I'm hoping it'll wake up a bit because it took me a lot longer to read that 17 pages than it should have. But it's basically the story of 4 gentlemen who meet regularly at their local pub. One of the people telling the story is an unnamed narrator, and he's telling the story of one of the gentlemen named Fettes, who meets a former colleague of his, and when they were both medical students, they kind of got up to some rather nefarious things, and based on the title, The Body Snatcher, you kind of get an idea. A little tired? Anyway, yeah, I don't know if I care for the ending all that much. I mean, it sort of hints at something kind of spooky, but it had a lot of tension as you're reading it, and then it just kind of, the ending was just okay, I guess. But anyway, I'm going to go take her for a walk now before it decides to rain, and I'm going to start listening to the final book in the Chronicles of Narnia series.
I didn't realize how cold it was out here today. Where's Skippy? There's Skippy. Anyway, Patrick Stewart's narrating this audiobook. Awesome.
This is Skippy's boyfriend, Bogey. He's what, 6? No, he's 17?
Yeah.
17 years old now, huh, Bogues?
Okay, Skippy and I are back from our walk. Definitely needed this cup of coffee because it was freezing out there. And I'm going to start a new book. It'll be Attack on Titan, Volume 21. I feel like I want to accomplish one whole book here. So, see you later. Okay, we finished Attack on Titan. On to another new book. Or more naps. Okay, I'm going to begin one of those little Doctor Who fairy tales. This is the Emperor Dalek's New Clothes. And that's the plot. I just finished this short little 36-page story. Doctor Who is a character who's a Time Lord. He travels through time and space in a little blue police box. And his main enemies are these creatures called the Daleks, which are in metal casings here. They want to subjugate every planet to their will throughout space and time. And it's just a story featuring them trying to invade a planet and the rebels attacking against them. It wasn't really a whole lot, kind of just a really quickie short story, so I'm going to move on to something else, but first I need a lunch break. Well, I just finished lunch. Looks like it's begun raining out there, so I'm going to settle down with another cup of coffee, my Doctor Who blanket, and beginning my first actual novel, which will be The Invasion of the Body Snatchers by Jack Finney. Okay, it's almost 5 o'clock, and I've been reading The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Currently on page 95, and I'm going to take a bit of a break, get some dinner, and I think when I come back I might want to set that one down for a little bit and pick up a short story from Shirley Jackson. Probably just start at the beginning of the book and read a couple from there and see how that goes. Somebody wants a cookie. Bye! Okay, it's now 6:45, and I just finished 40 pages worth of short stories in The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. The first story was The Intoxicated, about a drunk guy who wanders from a party into the host's kitchen and starts talking to a 17-year-old girl there who seems to be all doom and gloom, talking about apparently how the world's going to end and how we've ruined it and should have seen the signs, and he's just kind of listening, and then it sort of just abruptly ended. And I thought, okay, I was hoping it would lead into something really kind of, like maybe she has a premonition of what's coming, or she can see, Nope, nothing, just ended. I was like, okay. So, moved on to the second story, The Demon Lover. This is about an unnamed narrator. She's about to be married to Mr. James Harris, and she's waiting his arrival. They're supposed to go to breakfast. Time is passing. She's waffling on about what to wear. You'd think if she's married that day, everything would be planned, but she's debating between dresses, finally decides on one. Time passes again, she realizes he's late, he's not here, and she goes to try and meet up with him. And it's like he doesn't quite live there at the place that she was told, and it's like she asks around and people don't quite seem to know him at first, or recognize the description, and then some people say, well, yeah, he went this way, that. So she's spending all this time kind of chasing you know, chasing after him to figure out where he's at, and it has tension, and you're wondering what's happening, what's going on with this situation, and then the way it ended, I was like, I didn't get it. It's, again, an unhappy payoff. I just felt like it was leading somewhere, and then it led nowhere. So that was disappointing. And then the last one I read was Like Mother Used to Make, about a man named David, and he lives in an apartment next door to a woman named Marcia, and they're complete opposites. They're friends, but they're complete opposites. David's apartment is immaculate, everything matching. He's doesn't make a lot of money, and he's working his way towards building this, you know, silverware. You know, he's got like a service for not quite, well, about 4 people, and he's, you know, everything's gonna match perfectly and all this, and he has a key to her apartment where he drops off mail or lets service people in there from time to time, and her place is a total disaster. Anyway, she comes over for dinner, and someone was apparently coming to her apartment to meet up with her, and she lets him into David's apartment, and he's a Mr. James Harris. And I thought, is he supposed to be the character from the previous short story? But there wasn't really any inclination that he was, and I didn't understand the relationship between this Harris and Marcia, and David's position, and the way the story kind of twisted, it got a little weird, and then again, it just sort of ended unsatisfactorily. 40 pages worth of short stories, and I like her writing it. You feel like it's going to build to something, and then it just didn't. Again, maybe it's just how I feel towards short stories on a general basis, or I'm just not finding any that just seem complete. It seems like the story either needs to build and grow into something else, or I don't know. But not too happy with those so far. So I think I'm going to quit on these after 40 pages. I'm going to move on to take a little break from text a little bit and read through a manga. This is Ajin Demi-Human Volume 9. Very difficult to see that cover. But yeah, I'm going to get a little snack, and then I will tuck into this one. So, bye for now. Just a quick update. It's 9 p.m. right now. It's been raining all night. We even had a thunderstorm. But during that time, I've been reading Ajin Demi-Human Volume 9 by Gaman Sakurai. 190 pages. Just finished this one off. Pretty good battle scenes. Great artwork. I like the artwork and everything. I was just a little unhappy with the ending. I don't know where the series is going to go from here. I hope it does kind of wrap up soon, because it seems to be dragging on a little bit at this point. Moving on next, I think I'm going to pick up another short story, and this time I'm going to go with the Ghost Stories of Edith Wharton, and I'll be reading the first story, which is The Lady Maid's Bell, and it's only like around 22 or 24 pages, so that's next. Hey guys, so I'm kind of snuggled up in bed here. It's 11 o'clock at night, and I just finished reading the first short story in the Ghost Stories by Edith Wharton. So I read 26 pages in here, and the short story was entitled The Lady Maid's Bell, and it was good. I liked it. It has a gothic feel to it, which I always enjoy. This young woman who has just gotten over a bad case of typhoid is given a position out in the country as a lady's maid to this woman who's also kind of ill. The lord of the house, he's seldom there, but most of the staff don't seem to like him very much, but they do like the lady as well a lot. Her previous lady's maid had passed away, and they had been very close. And when this young woman arrives for the first time, she sees a figure coming out, like actually going into the doorway of the room across from where her room will be. And yet she's told that room is always supposed to be locked, and nobody actually is in there. So you have your first kind of appearance of a ghost-like figure. I like the writing a lot. I enjoyed the story. Again, I always want a little bit more from the ending. That's just, I guess, how short stories kind of feel to me. But I did enjoy it very much, and I'm looking forward to reading more from here at a later time. I also read 2 more of the Doctor Who books, and this first one was Snow White and the Seven Keys to Doomsday. It takes place on a planet called Winter, where the king had created a doomsday machine, and he was threatening the people with it, and there are 7 operating keys, and when the king was deposed and eventually died, these 7 keys were spread out across the planet to prevent the machine from being used. But shortly thereafter, a queen takes his place, and she's worse than he is, and she's threatening to track down these 7 keys and operate the machine, or at least use it as a threat again to control the people. And Snow White, who works in the castle, overhears the plan and is determined to kind of prevent her from finding these keys. It was overall a kind of cute, good story. Excuse me. And then the other one I read was Cinderella and the Magic Box, and I enjoyed this one probably the most so far because there's an appearance of the Doctor within this. Kind of a generic Doctor. You can't really tell which one of the incarnations it is. It almost felt like the most recent Doctor, Peter Capaldi. But again, it's hard to tell. And it's a typical kind of Cinderella story, but in this case, the Doctor is sort of the fairy godmother, and I really got a kick out of that one, so I enjoyed that a lot. Both these stories were around 36 pages. So that's where I am right now at 11. I'm still feeling somewhat awake, so I think I'm going to delve a little bit into my other manga here, I Am a Hero, and that's that zombie manga I told you about. And again, there's not a lot of text throughout it, so I might get pretty far with it. We'll see. I'm getting a bit sleepy though. Okay, guys, it's just past midnight, and I've managed to get through half of the manga. Okay, it is currently 5:53 a.m. and the readathon ends at 6:59 a.m. for me. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can finish off the last bit of this manga. Okay, it is 6:59, so the readathon is officially over for me, and I did manage to finish my last manga. So overall, it was a really great reading day for me. I managed to get through a total of 5 different short stories. 3 little fairy tales from Doctor Who. Pretty much 4 manga, because this one's an omnibus, so there's 2 in there. Half a novel, and 30 minutes of audio. So my total page count was 1,557 pages for the day and 30 minutes worth of audio, so I don't know what that equates to in page number, but really good reading experience. For the most part, the short stories were hit or miss for me. My favorite read, which I haven't quite finished, was Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's just starting to get to a really good point, so I can't wait to kind of get back into it. And of course the manga was all really good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you next time. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Bye.